How did the bears know to come here?
I guess once they figure out where the food is, they keep coming back.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me a screener for Grizzly Night, and this 2026 film was directed by Burke, Doeren, and stars Oded Fehr, Lauren Call, and Joel Johnstone, among others, of course. So what is the story of Grizzly Night? Well, with this one, it is about grizzly bear attacks at night, and so it's mostly about people dealing with the situation that they have. And, there's other campers around, so they're trying to, organize search parties to rescue people, then bringing them back to the chalet and all this other stuff that, is not necessarily the bear attack, but surrounding it, right? Searching for people and, helping each other out. What will happen, though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. So what works with it? Well, watching this one, I have to say, generally, I had a good time. I'm not particularly like an outdoorsy person, but a lot of it is, I think, for outdoorsy people to, have fun with. With this one, it is about like, what would you do if there was a bear attack, somewhere in your campgrounds, and you have to find shelter, you gotta find safety, you gotta help each other out. How are you going to get, people from here to there if they're injured? And of course, what are you going to do about the bear and the bears even maybe? And so a lot of it just, I think, kind of works for an exciting kind of movie, one that goes along at a good pace as well. And so there's always like a new thing that they're dealing with. Now they got to go search for that person. Now they have to wait for this ranger. Now they have to find that ranger or whatever. And so there is quite a few things going on. Like I said, none of it's really about the bear attack. It's about everything around it. And what is around it is interesting stuff. Like, they create drama and tension and stuff. So they do it in such a way where it certainly captures your attention. Also with this one, it is a good looking film. Certainly there is some production level into this one. They do have Oded Fehr, who is from, Star Trek and The Mummy. And he's, not a no-name actor or anything, so they do have some named actors. They hire a helicopter as well, so they have a helicopter flying around, so it's clearly has some production level to it, and it looks good, it sounds good even, and the acting is good as well. So all of it just kind of comes together to be a very watchable film, a very enjoyable film that way, one where it certainly is polished. Like, they wanted to tell this story and they told it in an interesting way. Other than that, I think if you are like an outdoorsy person, you'd probably really enjoy this film. I think like my partner would really enjoy it. She really likes camping and all that stuff, as well as like kind of true crime mystery stuff. And this is supposed to be based off of a true story. I'm always skeptical of how, true any, true story movie is. And so she would probably really enjoy it. Like, there is even some like kind of gore elements to it, not with the bear attacks, but they have like a surgery and stuff. So, and it's just, a minute here or there. So she would, I think, enjoy it. So certainly there are types of people out there that would have a blast with this one. And I think that brings me to what doesn't work with this one. Well, it is a creature feature, and there is a very little bear in this one. And it's supposed to be like two bears even, like two bears attack on one night or something like that. And there's this very little bear. Like, first of all, the tagline is 2 attacks 1 night. So there's a maximum of 2 attacks. And so you're just kind of waiting for the second one, really. After all, the first one kind of happens early on. And then, they are doing all this different stuff with it. And then they eventually get to the second one. So they do have just 2 attacks. Like, it's not nearly enough bear. And you would have liked to have seen certainly more of this bear. If you are into the kind of that creature feature, high octane energy stuff, you want bear attacks. But this one, it's much more about that tension just brought about with the searching process and everything that goes along with, surviving and, helping people who were in bear's attacks. So it is very little bear and a lot of, people talking about bear attacks and stuff, which isn't to say that it's not exciting. It's just not maybe what you want. What else can I say about this movie? Well, when it comes down to it, like, the bear attacks are kind of inevitable. Not only, do they tell you there's 2 attacks in 1 night as their tagline, but they are also like feeding the bears. And you find this out pretty early on. They just like don't have enough incinerator space to burn all their garbage, so they just like throw it on the lawn and for the bears to get. And so it's kind of clear that they would be attacking people. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you feeding them your garbage? That's just going to make them attack people. So it was kind of obvious that there was going to be bear attacks just based on this whole thing or this whole setup. And it's just like, why? Like, this is clearly your fault, people. And there's other things that go involved, like they have some people who seem to be like bear experts for no reason, and they're like a priest as well. And it's like, why is this person here or anything like that? So there is, I think, also a few characters who are not as well written as other ones. Most of them are kind of more stock characters, but it's just like, why would you have a priest who knows all about bears? And you're just like, okay, I guess that works. You know, whatever, it's fine, I guess, but it's just like odd, I would say. So there are definitely odd elements with this movie as well. So would I recommend this one? Well, if you are an outdoorsy person or you know an outdoorsy person, this one is really fun, I would say. You have lots of stuff to, think about and what you would do and even how you would, deal with the situation yourself. So if you can, press play on this one. As for a rating, well, I'm going to give it the better than average score of 5.6. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.